Step softly upon the moss-covered path. You have travelled far today, and the air here is cool, scented with pine needles, and the rich, damp scent of ancient earth. This is the deep forest, a sanctuary where time slows its hurried pace, and the heavy, tangled burdens of the waking world simply melt away into the velvet darkness. Before we drift deeper into the comforting shadows of the ancient trees, let us take a moment to prepare your nest, to secure your cave for the night. Take all the time you need to adjust your surroundings, settling into the softest textures, turning off any autoplay so your rest remains entirely undisturbed, setting a gentle timer to guard your sleep, ensuring the busy, waking world does not intrude upon your peace. If you find comfort in the quiet of these woods and wish to plant a seed of support for this forest, you may subscribe. It is a quiet, simple way to stay close to the path, so you may always find your way back when you need a safe place to rest. Know that when our story ends tonight, the forest will not abandon you. The gentle, rhythmic sounds of the night will continue, holding you safely, cradling you in a blanket of calm until the morning light finds you. So, settle in. Let your eyes drift close and take a slow, deep, nourishing breath, drawing in the profound calm of the woods and exhaling the loud, echoing noise of the day. Welcome to the deep forest. Tonight, we will walk with the spider, high above the shadowed forest floor, up where the ancient canopy parts just enough to let the moonlight spill through, like streams of liquid silver. Lived Lyra. Lyra was a master weaver. She was a small, delicate creature, a spider with a shimmering, silver-dusted back that caught the pale glow of the moon. She moved on 8 slender legs, each delicately tipped with a faint dusting of frost white. Her eyes were like tiny, dark, polished opals, always watchful, always calculating, always seeking perfect, unbroken order. For Lyra, the vast, unpredictable world was something that needed to be measured, mapped, and perfectly arranged. Her webs were absolute marvels of geometry. Every single strand was placed with meticulous, agonizing precision. Every angle was flawless. Every connection was strictly secured. She believed with all her tiny heart that if she just worked hard enough, if her design was absolutely, undeniably perfect, she could control the chaotic space around her. She could make the wild, unpredictable forest safe and predictable. But there was one thing Lyra could never control: the wind. The wind in the deep forest is a wild, untamed, breathing thing. It dances through the highest branches. It whispers through the shivering leaves. It rushes and sighs without any discernible pattern or warning. And every night, without fail, the wind would come to visit Lyra's quiet corner of the canopy. Lyra saw the wind not as a natural visitor, but as a flaw, a chaotic disruption to her perfect, rigid order. When a sudden gust would ripple through her meticulously crafted web, stretching a delicate thread too far, or snapping a carefully measured anchor, Lyra would feel a tight, frantic knot pull painfully taut within her chest. I must make it stronger, she would tell herself, her frost-tipped legs moving with a blur of anxious speed in the dark. I must weave it tighter. I must catch this wind and hold it still. And so, night after night, while the rest of the forest slept in peaceful surrender, Lyra worked. She spun thicker silk. She reinforced every fragile joint. She created intricate, tightly overlapping patterns, designed to trap the breeze and force it into submission. She exhausted herself completely in the relentless pursuit of an unbreakable, flawless design. But the wind cannot be caught. No matter how perfect the geometry, no matter how rigid and strong the silk, the wind would always break through. A sudden, playful, careless gust would tear her masterpiece into ragged, floating ribbons, leaving Lyra clinging helplessly to a single trembling thread, her tiny heart racing, her energy utterly spent. She felt a profound sense of failure. She believed that if the web broke, it was solely because she wasn't good enough, because her exhausting work wasn't perfect enough. She bore the heavy, crushing weight of trying to hold the entire shifting sky still with a few frail strands of silk. Perhaps you know this feeling, the quiet, hidden exhaustion of trying to weave a perfect web in your own life, of trying to predict every shifting gust of wind, trying to control the uncontrollable so that nothing can ever disturb your peace. One evening, as the silver moon rose high, the wind was particularly strong. It howled through the upper branches, tearing Lyra's newly spun, perfectly rigid web to shreds in mere moments. Lyra, weary down to her very core, did not immediately rush to rebuild. Her silver back lacked its usual brilliant luster. Her frost-tipped legs felt far too heavy to move. She simply hung there, suspended by a single loose strand of silk, swaying gently, helplessly, in the lingering aftermath of the gust. And in that rare stillness, in that quiet surrender to her own exhaustion, she noticed something she had never truly seen before. Far below her, an ancient willow tree stood gracefully by the edge of a still, dark pond. As the wind rushed fiercely through the willow, the tree did not stiffen. It did not brace itself. It did not try to catch the wind or hold it back. Instead, its long, sweeping, leafy branches simply yielded. They swayed and danced fluidly with the breeze, bending so deeply. They gently brushed the glass-like surface of the water, only to gracefully, effortlessly return to their quiet center when the wind finally passed. The willow was not broken by the wind. because it did not fight it. It simply allowed the wind to move through it. Lyra watched the willow sway for a very long time, and slowly, the tight, frantic knot in her chest began, ever so slightly, to soften and loosen. Moving with a new, quiet rhythm, she began to spin again. But this time, she did not pull the threads agonizingly tight. She did not obsess over perfectly rigid, flawless squares. She spun her silk with a gentle, forgiving looseness, allowing the lines to drape softly, to hang with a relaxed, trusting curve. When the next sudden gust of wind arrived, rushing through the dark canopy, Lyra's web did not snap, because it was no longer rigid. It caught the breeze like a delicate, breathing sail, billowing gently outwards, stretching, yielding. And then, as the wind moved on, the soft web gently settled back into place. It was not a perfect, rigid trap. It was a soft, breathing net, dancing beautifully with the wind, rather than fighting it. Lyra rested quietly in the center of her swaying web. For the first time in her life, she did not feel the frantic, heavy need to control the sky. She felt the cool night air wash over her, and she simply let herself be carried, safe and resting, in the gentle, unpredictable sway. As we leave Lyra resting peacefully in the gentle sway of her softened web, bathed in the quiet, silver light of the moon, we gently turn our attention inward to the intricate, hidden webs we weave within our own minds. How often do we find ourselves pulling the threads of our days so painfully tight, trying to control every shifting breeze, trying to force an unpredictable, wild world into perfect, rigid order? Now, it is time to soften your own silk to step away from the exhausting work of holding the sky, and to simply let the wind pass through. It is deeply exhausting, is it not? The endless, relentless spinning, the constant waking vigilance, always watching, always calculating, waiting for the next sudden gust of life to disrupt your carefully laid plans. You work so incredibly hard, reinforcing every fragile joint of your day, measuring every word, planning every outcome, believing that if you are just flawless enough, if your design is absolutely perfect, you can keep the chaos at bay. You carry the heavy, crushing weight of trying to hold the shifting, breathing world still with your own two hands. And when the unpredictable wind of life inevitably breaks through, your perfectly rigid plans, you blame yourself. You feel that tight, frantic knot pull painfully taut within your chest, telling you that you must work harder, plan better, weave tighter. But the forest whispers a different truth tonight. Just like the wind in the ancient canopy, life cannot be caught. It cannot be perfectly managed or controlled. And the burden of trying to be the anchor for the entire sky, it is simply too much for anyone to bear. You were never meant to hold it all together. So, let us begin to loosen the rigid geometry of your day. bring your gentle awareness to the very top of your head, to the space where the mind races and the plans are endlessly drawn. Imagine those thoughts as tightly wound, rigid threads of silk, stretched to the absolute breaking point, vibrating with the strain of holding on. Now, invite a soft, yielding looseness to wash over them. Let the tight threads drape softly, releasing the deep tension across your forehead. Smooth away the heavy lines of worry and anticipation. Let the tiny, overworked muscles around your eyes simply let go, dropping the exhausting need to watch, to predict, to brace for impact. Let your eyes sink deeper into the velvet darkness. Safe and off duty. Allow this softening to travel down into your jaw. We so often clench our teeth against the uncontrollable winds of our lives, holding our words, holding our fears, locking them away behind a perfect facade. Unclench. Let your jaw drop slightly, creating a soft, open space. Release the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Let the rigid structure of your face completely dissolve into the quiet, supportive dark. Breathe in the cool, moonlit air of the deep forest. And as you exhale, let this profound softening flow down your neck and into your shoulders, How tightly have you braced your shoulders against the world today? How heavy are the burdens of trying to be absolutely flawless in every moment? Feel that tightness, that physical armor you wear to protect yourself from the unpredictable. You do not need to fight it. Just notice it with profound compassion. And as you take your next slow, deep breath, imagine breathing that calm silver light directly into the frantic knot in your chest, bathing it in acceptance, softening its sharp edges, gently loosening its iron grip, as you exhale. Let your shoulders drop heavily. Let them sink deeply into the surface beneath you. Surrender the impossible need to hold everything together. Let the surface carry your weight. It is strong enough to hold you exactly as you are. Imperfect, exhausted, and perfectly safe. Picture the ancient willow tree by the edge of the still, dark pond. When the sudden, fierce gusts of life rush through you, you do not need to stiffen. You do not need to be a rigid, unbreakable wall. Unbreakable things shatter under pressure. Yielding things survive and find peace. Invite the ancient wisdom of the willow into your own body, into your spine, into your arms and legs. Feel a sense of gentle fluidity entering your limbs, a forgiving looseness. You are allowed to bend. You are allowed to sway. You are allowed to be moved by the unpredictable currents of your day, without breaking, without failing. Bring your attention to your hands, your hands that work so tirelessly, that grasp so tightly to control the outcome of every situation, trying to weave the perfect, unyielding net. Let your fingers softly uncurl, unfurling like the delicate, frost-tipped legs of the spider as she finally rests. Release the grip. There is absolutely nothing you need to hold on to right now. No master plan to secure. No perfection to achieve. No mistakes to prevent. Let your hands become heavy and entirely useless for the night, resting softly, yielding to gravity. Let this wave of deep, heavy release travel down your back, unspooling the rigid posture of constant vigilance. Letting your spine melt into the softness beneath you. Flowing down through your hips, releasing the tightness in your stomach. That place where we hold so much of our fear of the unknown. Let your breath expand your stomach fully. Without restriction, without holding back. A soft, rhythmic rise and fall, like a delicate thread catching, a peaceful, sleeping breeze. Let the heaviness pour down your legs, through your thighs, your knees, your calves, all the way to the tips of your toes. Your entire body, from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet, is now draped in soft, forgiving looseness. Imagine your own mind, your own presence in this exact moment. Not as a rigid trap, trying to catch the wind, but as a soft breathing net. When a lingering thought of tomorrow appears, a worry about a conversation, a harsh critique of something you did not do perfectly today, when these thoughts blow through your mind like a sudden gust of wind in the canopy, do not rush to fix them. Do not tighten your grip to catch them. Do not analyze the geometry of the breeze. Simply let the thought billow into the soft, yielding space of your awareness. Let the net stretch gently, and let the thought pass entirely through. Leaving you swaying gently, untouched, in the quiet aftermath. The wind will always blow. The unexpected will always arrive. But you no longer need to exhaust yourself, trying to weave a perfect shield against it. You can simply be the soft silk in the moonlight, acknowledging the breeze and letting it go. It is profoundly safe to let go of the rigid order tonight. The forest holds you completely. The ground beneath you is solid and infinitely supportive. You do not have to earn this rest. Through flawless execution, you do not have to justify your exhaustion or prove your worth to the shadows. You are allowed to put down the heavy, endless task of weaving the uncatchable wind. Deeper now, sinking further into the soft, velvet darkness of the canopy. Your breathing is just a gentle sway, rising and falling, rising and falling. Nothing left to map. Nothing left to measure. Just the slow, steady, hypnotic rhythm of deep release. Softening the silk, yielding to the motion, trusting the quiet sway of the night. You are not failing when you rest. You are healing. You are gathering the quiet strength of the yielding willow. Let the silver light wash over you. Cooling the fires of overthinking. Dissolving the frantic need for control into the vast, peaceful expanse of the forest night. Drifting now untethered from the demands of perfection. Floating freely in the gentle currents of rest. Letting every muscle, every thought, every lingering fear simply unravel. And fall away into the deep, welcoming dark. There is only the gentle sway now. The soft, breathing net of the night. Holding you effortlessly, without demanding perfection. As you drift deeper and deeper, yielding entirely to the quiet dark. Perfectly safe in the heart of the forest. Good night.